Shalom. Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Udash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. I wanted to bring this article out because it's relevant in terms of prophecy. We know that Bible prophesied World War III happening, and we're living in a time in which you can read and see of wars and rumors of wars happening all throughout the entire globe. And the Bible also prophesies about how these different nations will be putting money into their military to build up their weapons of war. And so that's why I wanted to bring out this article, and then we'll jump to that specific precept and just get a few more surrounding World War III. We do these videos so that the elect can be edified, and so you can see that the Bible is speaking. Everything written in the Bible that has not happened but is an end-time prophecy, it will come to pass. All we're doing is measuring the times right now by looking out in the world and seeing what's happening, lining it up with what the Bible said will be happening, and then pushing it out there for the elect to hear. So this article says Russia's secret $250 billion war fund threatens economic collapse. Ex-Bank of America says, Vice Chairman says. So let's jump down. Okay, let me refresh this page. There we go. All right, first paragraph. Russia has been secretly funding nearly half its war costs through a massive off-budget financing scheme that forced banks to provide risky loans to defense contractors, potentially setting the stage for a systemic credit crisis, according to an analysis published on Navigating Russia, a Substack newsletter by Craig Kennedy, former Morgan Stanley and Bank of America Merrill Lynch vice chairman. The scheme, launched the day after Russia invaded Ukraine, has generated between $210 billion and $250 billion in compulsory bank loans to defense-related businesses, matching the size of Russia's official defense budget. These loans were often extended to companies with poor credit ratings and preferential terms dictated by the estate. So basically, the premise of the article is just saying that because Russia has been funding their military defense budget through forcing banks to extend loans out to these fishy companies or defense companies, now their economy is in trouble. Their economy is facing some kind of a debt crisis. But of course, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because $200 billion is a lot of stinking money. And that's what's going towards their military defense budget. Well, yeah, prophecies are now speaking loud and clear in these end days. It's very, very clear what time we're living in. If the Bible prophesies of World War III, and now we see all these nations putting millions and billions of dollars into their military defense budget for whatever reason, yeah, we know that World War III is right around the corner. That means that the microchip, the mark of the beast, has to be even closer, because that has to get implemented before World War III breaks out. So we're very, very close right now. We can see that these different nations, they're putting lots of money towards their military budget. It goes on to say the hidden financing has driven corporate borrowing up to 71% since mid-2022, reaching $415 billion, or 19.4% of GDP. The surge has become the main driver of inflation, pushing interest rates above 21% for regular businesses and creating what Kennedy calls preconditions for a systemic credit crisis. Yeah, so their economy, I don't know what it was like before they started forcing banks to give out these loans, but it probably was decent. It was probably looking okay. At the very least, it was better than what it is right now. So now, because all of a sudden they're saying, look, we need to gear up and prepare ourselves for World War III. Unfortunately, it's having a negative impact on their economy financially. So that's not good. That's not good. All these different nations thinking that they're going to come out on top. You win World War III and now your economy is messed up. That wouldn't make any sense. I'll read this last paragraph. It says, by late 2024, the Kremlin had become increasingly concerned about the risks, including potential bank failures and corporate defaults. The report suggests that this vulnerability could provide unexpected leverage for Ukraine and its allies in negotiations. Okay, there's only one more paragraph. The report recommends Western allies maintain firm positions on sanctions, blah, blah, blah. It's not important. Yep, that's it. Very, very short read. Once again, Russia's secret $250 billion war fund threatens economic collapse. Yep, so their economy isn't looking good because of their war fund. And $250 billion, I agree. Now, we're going to jump right to Joel, the 3rd chapter. I'm sure we were all thinking the same thing. Let's read this in the NLT. Joel 3 verse 9 says, say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Get ready for war. This is an end time prophecy right here. Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. And America's definitely doing that, training their weaklings to be warriors. I mean, in just a general sense of the word, of course, females are the weaker vessel, the Bible says. And we know that, right? It's just common sense. You look at a man's physique versus a woman's physique. The man is made for battle. But of course, America's like, look, we need everybody that we can get. Bring the women in here, the trans people, the bi people, all of that. Just bringing them all in. Because America knows that World War III is going to erupt as well. But what they're not counting on is them losing. And America in the Bible is known as Babylon the Great in Revelation, the 18th chapter. So if you haven't read that before, go ahead and take a stab at it. Revelation 18, when you read about Babylon the Great, just exchange that phrase or the word Babylon with America in that chapter. Now, the part I want to harp on here is the beginning of verse 10, where it says, hammer your plowshares into swords. Plowshares are an agriculture tool. So if you're hammering, metaphorically, your agriculture tool into something else, into a sword, well, a sword is a killing tool, a killing instrument. So it's metaphorically talking about how these different nations are going to be putting money, time, energy, effort into building up their military might, putting money into their defense system. And of course, we know that World War III is going to be fought with nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. That's the reason why these different countries are working on ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right? So hammer your plowshares into swords. So no more putting money into agriculture, farming, X, Y, and Z. No, take that money and we need to build up our military might. That's what this is talking about. And that's what we were reading about in that article. And your pruning hook into spears, same exact thing. An agricultural weapon or an agricultural instrument. We're not worried about that anymore. Take that money and that energy. Let's put it over here in our military defense, for our military defense. So World War III is definitely popping off. And we can see it, these prophecies speaking loud and clear. Of course, I'm going to grab Revelation, go back to the King James. Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe cometh quickly. We know that because of how much money is going towards the military in these different nations. Plus, there's new articles about World War III every single week. I mean, you can easily make one video a week about World War III. And sometimes it'll be redundant. You're bringing out the same things, right? That's why I don't do it until I find through the Spirit a different kind of topic like this surrounding World War III, right? But there's so much news surrounding World War III right now. I mean, I have Google alerts for World War III set to my email. So I'm getting it damn near daily. But a lot of it is just, it's wars, it's rumors of war. That's it. Don't got to report on everything. But we know that the second woe, that's World War II, it's past, and the third woe, which is World War III, it's coming very, very quickly. Easy. That's why we have to, in this time right now, make sure we're building up our spirits, asking for forgiveness, begging for mercy, while we have this grace period, because in the time of Jacob's trouble, the doors of mercy, the doors of grace are going to close very, very fast. Very, very fast. Not saying they're going to completely shut like that. It's just they're going to close fast. So why not take advantage of the time that we have right now before World War III pops off? Because this will be the end result of World War III. I will go to Revelation 18. And I'll get the culmination, right, of World War III. Revelation 18, verse 8, therefore shall her plagues, the her is referring to Babylon, which is America. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Her, once again, talking about Babylon the Great, America, not a real woman. It's an analogy right here. It's a metaphor. But one day, death, mourning, famine, and this place is going to be utterly burned with fire. That's that lake of fire that you also read about here in the book of Revelation. It's just a bird's eye view of this entire landmass, America, being completely burned from World War III. That's it. And salvation is being delivered from that destruction. When you're delivered from that destruction, then you have received salvation. Now you actually know that you're saved. Nobody has been saved yet. Nobody knows if they're going to be saved. That's why we're offering our body as a living sacrifice. Each and every single day, we're repenting and praying each and every single day, doing the work of the Lord in hopes that our faith, right, allows us to be delivered from this destruction. So this is coming. World War III is coming. We just bring out articles like this just to warn the elect. So Lord's will, this was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim, which means all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.